To talk about this more, we're going to bring in today's political power panel. We have Republican strategist Alex Zdan and Democratic strategist Michael Starr Hopkins. Hello, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us, especially on a holiday weekend. Yeah, and it is a holiday weekend, so you wonder how much the chorus is going to grow even on Monday following this interview. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries meeting with committee ranking members today, reportedly about Biden's candidacy. So, Michael, does this get worse for Biden tomorrow?
It does. Once the House and the Senate get back together and have a chance to talk, what you're really going to see is candidates who are afraid of Biden at the top of the ticket causing a drag down ticket. You know, when you look at Hakeem Jeffries, he has the chance to be the first African-American speaker in our nation's history. But that can only happen if Democrats win back the House. If Joe Biden continues to drop in his polling numbers, that's not going to happen. And so there becomes a point where Democrats' self-interest in protecting those down ticket races becomes really the deciding factor in whether Joe Biden can stay at the top of the ticket.
Yeah, down ballot candidates are very concerned. Alex, to you now today, Biden back on the campaign trail in Pennsylvania, as we see. We'll take a look at this poll. It's a swing state, of course, where Trump is actually leading by 3.2% right now. Biden attending that black church service in Northwest Philly this morning. We're going to listen to a few more words of what he said.
To ensure you can follow your dreams without the burden of student debt. To make housing affordable, help more black families build wealth and pass it on to future generations. To keep our communities safe by getting weapons of war off our streets. To give hate no safe harbor. While there are those who want to erase history, Kamala and I want to make it. Because black history is American history.
And Alex, you're our Republican strategist. Both sides are trying to court African-American voters. Trump has recently taken heat for using the words black jobs. Who's winning this morning?
Well, clearly, if you're explaining, you're losing, and President Biden has to explain not just his administration's record on the economy for jobs for people of all races and nationalities. He needs to explain the questions about his cognition that have come up fast and furious since the debate. I just don't think that these prompter-fed events are going to inspire a lot of confidence. But on the other hand, as long as he doesn't perpetuate a calamity like he had during the debate night, he'll be able to stay on the top of the ticket. And a lot of this comes from President Biden's deep-seated arrogance. He's a very proud man. He's been known for being a garrulous, arrogant man since he was in the Senate in the 1970s. And you have to wonder who is advising him to stay in the race. There's reporting that not just the First Lady is advising him, but Hunter Biden is advising him as well. There's an old saying in politics, if you're explaining, you're losing. And if you're getting your political advice from Hunter Biden, you're lost.
All right, Michael, on to you. Vice President Kamala Harris is on the campaign trail this weekend, too. She's at the Essence Festival. But I found this interesting. She kept her comments focused on motivating voters, trying to get them energized, instead of ensuring them that Biden is the right man for the job. So you're our Democratic strategist. Should we be reading into this more than what we're hearing or not?
I think she's got to be really careful what she says, because any politicking that she does, anything that looks like she may be putting her fingers on the scale and making it look like she wants the job is going to be negatively impacted on her. And it's going to make Joe Biden even less likely to get out of the race. You know, Joe Biden is asking us to make one hell of a gamble. And that gamble is that he can win and keep Republicans from having a national abortion ban, that he can keep Republicans from rolling back the Civil Rights Act, that he can keep Republicans from implementing Project 2025. The problem is, if he loses that gamble, we all lose. And at the end of the day, Joe Biden will be fine. But the rest of Black Americans, LGBT Americans, women, they won't be okay. And so that's really going to be the problem. Every day we're going to be talking about Joe Biden's health and not about that risk.
Michael, I want to follow up with you very quickly on this, because producers have given me a favorability poll that's showing Harris trailing Biden by 2%. That's the latest polling that we have. I think we can show our viewers that. How would a Harris campaign look different than a Biden campaign? Quickly.
Well, Vice President Harris would be able to attack Donald Trump on his age in a way that Joe Biden can't. She also, as a prosecutor, would be able to run a campaign talking about executing in the courtroom. You know, this would be a prosecutor running against a 34-time felon. I just think that the logistics of that race would be different, and you're going to see African-American voters overwhelmingly come out in a way for Vice President Harris that we haven't seen for Joe Biden.
Okay. And Alex, President Biden is going to be hosting the NATO summit in Washington this week. On Thursday, he's going to be delivering those closing remarks at a news conference. So it's critical for him at this summit to show his mental capacity for leading the country for another 4 years. As a Republican strategist, compare how the speech would go differently if Trump was delivering it.
Well, I think you just said it. He has to show he's got the mental capacity. That's not really been a question asked of our presidents since Ronald Reagan at the tail end of his term. And unfortunately, we'll be watching not what the president says at that NATO summit, more how he says it. And that's something that is, again, unique, whether it's President Trump or any other president delivering remarks. Right now, we have a glaring issue in America focusing on our current president's cognition. We can't look away. We can't push it under the rug. This is an issue that every American should be concerned about. But unfortunately, Joe Biden's arrogance means he's likely going to stay the Democratic nominee for president till November.
And Alex, a follow up with you on this. Democrats are in crisis mode this week, damage control mode. What are Republicans doing this week? Are Republicans going, OK, this is what we'll do to attack Biden. This is what we would do to attack Harris. This is what we would do to attack Newsom. What's their game plan this week?
When your adversary is stumbling in the dark, don't hand them a flashlight. So really what Republicans are doing this week, and I think you'll see doing next week as well, is staying out of the way of the Democratic car crash. That's the order of the day, because the Democrats are going to sort this problem out one way or another. And whoever the Democrats do put up there, even though I believe it's almost definitely going to be President Biden, Republicans will be able to make the countervailing case as to why principled conservative leadership is the way to go for this country.
All right, Alex Zdan, Michael Starr Hopkins, that's all the time we have. And viewers at home, I hope you enjoy